So I'm going to discuss something known as the carbon cycle. Now, carbon is really important because carbon makes something known as organic compounds. Now, I'm not going to go too much into detail about the chemistry behind this, but when carbon joins with another, for example, type of element, hydrogen, nitrogen, you can make a range of different organic compounds. For example, what you could see in this diagram, this is the carbon cycle. These carbon atoms over here can be used to make lipids, could be made to make proteins, could be made to make carbohydrates. Now, with carbohydrates, you've got small sugars, we call them monosaccharides. You've got two sugars joined up together, disaccharides, or you've got long sugar molecules, which we call polysaccharides. Now, the carbon cycle starts with the photosynthesis, taking the light energy, converting the carbon dioxide into carbon, into sugars. And sugar, carbohydrates are an organic compound. If you remember sugars, it is CHO. So it's carbon joined with hydrogen joined with oxygen. If you want the exact number, it's 12, 6, 12. Do remember this for your exam. And that is to make one single sugar glucose molecule. So you can see right over here, the carbon dioxide photosynthesizes to the plants, okay? And then the plants can actually get eaten, so feeding and assimilation. So this organic compound is passed on in the trophic levels. So the higher level, and the higher level is slowly passed along. Now, I'm going to cross out photosynthesis. We covered that. But what you also need see is respiration. Now, respiration is done by both animals and it is also done by the plants. So I think I don't quite see the very arrow from the plants, but the plants also respire. And that takes the organic compound, so the glucose, and turns it into energy. And by doing this respiration, we are contributing to the increase in the carbon dioxide. So as you turn glucose, this sugar, back into, turn it into ATP, which is used as energy, blah, 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 blah. But when you use it to make energy, you're releasing carbon dioxide. That's one of the waste products when we breathe out is carbon dioxide. Now, there is also something known as fossilization. Now, fossilization happens in plants. It happens with animals as well. And you turn these dead organisms under heat and pressure into fossil fuels, such as coal, oil, and gas. And these fossil fuels are locking together the carbon, right? Now, when you burn the fossil fuels under combustion, so getting electricity, powering cars or whatnot, you're releasing carbon dioxide back into the actual atmosphere. Now, what we notice over here is when things die, okay, animals, plants die, they get decayed. So they get broken down by something known as decomposers, bacteria, fungi, and they release the carbon atoms back into the actual ecosystem so that the plants can use all of that dead organisms and actually grow. This is something you find in marine science and things like that, compost, things like that, dead life. You're putting it there, it gets broken down back into nutrients that the soil then can absorb. But as the decomposers are doing this, they're also respiring. So they're also releasing carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere. So you can see death and decay over there by decomposers release, and the decomposers respire, and that puts carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Now let's talk about the ocean. The ocean is a very big carbon sink. What that means is when the oceans were formed, there was a lot of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, but when the oceans formed, a lot of this carbon dioxide actually dissolved into the water. Another way that carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere is volcanic activity. And we can actually monitor the carbon dioxide released by the volcanoes. If there's a lot of carbon dioxide, more than usual amount of carbon dioxide, that means that the volcano is an indication that the volcano may erupt. Another contribution to the thing is chopping down trees. Trees photosynthesize. As we chop down trees to make room for houses, to make room for agriculture, to grow food, we are eliminating the plants that actually photosynthesize and turn this carbon dioxide into organic compound, which we can see as glucose.